through Terminal 4 in the background there. We're I think we're departing runway 27 today. Let's close a few things down and get my traffic started. Right, we should start to see some aircraft get populated very shortly. So yeah, this is the new business jet from Flight FX. They make the wonderful P180 with a very similar O-line suite. I think this one's a little bit more advanced, being a jet. So the P180 is the fast twin turboprop. Also, don't forget, Flight FX do the they do the small SF50. What's it called? The one with the little, very small business jet. Right, so we're going to jump in and get some power on. Let's make sure ground power, it's already connected. Yeah, I took the chocks and stuff off. Instrument covers, ground power is on. And so with the ground power on, external power to up, standby power on. On. You can put the avionics as well. I think it takes a lot more battery power, so I think in real life they would put that on a bit later once the APU is running. Now, a couple of things that I came across with this. If you wanted to change the brightness for these panels in front, the knob over here to the left has got an outer and inner ring, so they do the brightness on these two screens. Hey JR, evening or afternoon to you, sir. Managed to get my get the sim working again after all the issues with the driver update yesterday. It was emotional. But I always wondered where the brightness was for this center screen. It's actually up here. The back thing flips into screen, but this knob here does the brightness. If you want to adjust the brightness on this middle MFD, then yes, the smaller knob of those two or the others. So we're going to have a bit of a sort of a dusk takeoff on runway 27. Yeah, planes are being populated now as the traffic comes in. So yeah, we've just got the ECAS on and the ground power. So let me check my sim brief. Did I actually generate the flight? I did. So what we can do is put the weights in from sim brief. In a bit of a lag all of a sudden. Not sure why that is. Maybe it's the traffic. So I should have a total of 65.81 in fuel. 65.79 is close enough. Okay, so fuel is done. Okay, so here we are at Heathrow. the wonderful Heathrow. So we're taking off from 27 left, so we're going to go on the bottom runway, heading west out over Staines and Windsor Way as we head north for Iceland. I think this is actually one of the de-icing zones or something where we are. But yeah, we'll come out, taxi up, probably Alpha Bravo. Anyway, so let's do a bit of this jitter again. Doesn't like, we need to do pos in it, we need to tell it where we are. So we'll just grab the last position. Right, we need to grab sim brief. Is now. There's the nav. Sim brief. Flight plan recall. Right, there we go. That house populated. So EGLL is Heathrow. We're doing the umlaut departure. Just to quickly show my screen. So yeah, we'll take off from 27 left, doing the umlaut departure. So yeah, basically we and Slough, and we turn north at Burnham, which is near Maidenhead. You've got the motorway, the M4 going west is this sort of road. The motorway's marked very well on here, but being Irish, should have had them as another colour. But yeah, so we will then depart north, and we go up past Leicester and Birmingham, skirt through Manchester and Liverpool and Leeds, and we head up towards Scotland. In fact, we go right over pretty much central Scotland, out over the islands, and yeah, into BIKF, Reykjavik. So at the moment, the METARs for London live using the real ones are showing me that we're 20 degrees C. And the wind's moved a little bit. I wonder if they're going to still be using runway 27. I bet the AI traffic's probably switched. But yeah, it's been a bit sort of rainy and blustery. So the winds at the moment, Heathrow 5 knots, coming from 310 to 60, so coming from the to the northeast a bit. 10 kilometers visibility, ceiling cloud 3,900 feet. And then at BIKF, but we're a couple hours away from landing, but right now it is 11 degrees C, rain, Only 2 kilometers visibility, 800 feet cloud. So yeah, bit of a mess. And we'll have to see what it's like. It's not too windy. 11, it can be pretty windy at Iceland, so we'll see. See how it goes. Right, so with all that being said, so we've got the right departures and everything in already, I believe, and we need to tell it we're doing 27 left. And omelette 1G. Activate that. Perf init. That's all fine. The takeoff, we've got the temperature in already. That's fine. We need to put the wind in. So the wind at the moment, I think it's also on the. I think it also has it on here. It's variable. 6 knots variable. 30 degrees. I'll put in 030 at 6. Okay, airport elevation's already in. Most of this is already in. It will be a dry runway at the moment. And anti-ice will be off. Flats will be 15. We can confirm in it. Yeah, that's all fine then. Okay. So the arrival, we could do this mid-flight. I'm going to pop it in. We might have to change it when we get nearer if the weather changes. But we are doing the Asrusk K star, I think. Look. Yeah. Yes. RUSK, it's this one. And the it's just as run is the transition, so it doesn't look like it has a trans. Umlaut woven well in, just see if there's any discontinuities. Have one. All done as run. Don't think we've actually put in the need to put in the landing. Actually, I should really put that in all later because it will all change. The runway at the moment is runway 19. Okay, that's all done then. So okay, let's get the APU running. So the APU's over on this right hand side. So we need to put the master on. So once the master's on, we will do APU start, and that starts to run the APU. Now there is the avionics on. We can put these in a line, and in a little while they'll go green and we can turn them to nav. The APU is this little thing in the back of the plane, in the tail. Coming up the back end there. Yeah, look at the size of these engines, and we've actually got slats on this bizz, so it's very much like a liner, airliner with the slats, but this has got a lot more power to it. I'm getting bad frame rates here for whatever reason. And then I have got Navigraph running, I've got traffic running, I've got OBS running. But it was actually fine until... I mean, this airport is pretty hungry on the frames. I kind of want to turn off my frame gen because the cockpit looks a bit better without frame gen on, but I kind of need the frame gen on at the airport because of the low frame rates, and when you're flying, not so bad. Right, so with the APU running, once at 100 we get these lights ready to load. So we do APU start. And we can put the bleed air on and the generator on. I think if we go to APU here, you can see that it's all running. So that's all good. Another little feature with this plane though, if you're having problems with these not showing nav ready or whatever, it will be because your standby power also needs to be on. The battery's on as well. We're not using ATC, but I can squawk some kind of 4-digit number. Let me put in something like 5775. That'll do. Maybe that. I'm going to do this over here actually. I'll get rid of this now. Turn. I don't want inches, I want HPA. Got traffic and terrain on, wind is on X and Y, which is alright, that's all fine. PCAS. Get rid of the... right, that'll do. Because we've got fuel and hydraulics here. Electrics. Going the batteries. APU's on, fuel boost on left and right. And the blues we need to do. Engines are shut down, of course. Heats are off. Parking brakes on. Right, so once we got the APU all going and everything like that, we should be should be good for an engine start. Before I forget though, I'm probably doing this at the wrong time. I'm going to set a cabin out. We are going to go to probably about 48,000. So I'm going to put it up there. It should do it automatically. I think I need to put HPLPs on. This can go on soon. I'll probably do it when the engine starts. Right, so you should be able to switch the nav on now. And if I turn these to realistic or quick. Right, so we auto throttle set. I need to set my lights where I want them. I might play around with those a little bit. I've gone with the CRT, so the screens are slightly curved, and they've got this sort of grain on them, but they're a bit brighter. I think they, in this plane, they look a bit nicer with the CRTs rather than the LCDs. Okay, so we've got the flight plan in. We can go for some engine starts, I think, now. So I need to move these out their cut-off position. Okay, I thought we had to put the ignitions on the on, but I think because that's on, that's off, but not, they're in norm, so I think they'll start. So whether you leave them in norm or put them to on, quite sure what the right thing will be. I've had a few problems, but you need to make sure this lead is on the APU, otherwise the engines won't start. But go for right engine start, and then you'll see the N2 rise at above 10%. Give it a little bit more fuel or something. Just going to put the, make sure the engine's far off. Still getting some jitters. I'll roll back my. Just going to turn my frame gen. I'll see. I'll probably get really bad frame rates. See how bad it is. I mean, even with a 5070 Ti, man, it's like. I mean, I don't have the rest of my computer's not like new. I don't have a new CPU and everything, but everything will look a little bit smarter. But my frames will be sort of down around the 15-20 mark or something at this airport without frame gen on. Everything should just look a little bit less fuzzy, a bit more crisper. But yeah, I did the 577 yesterday and it was jittering around. I couldn't even rotate the camera around, it was so bad. Right, so engine 1 is fired up and going, stabilised. So we will do left engine start. Let's see, number 2 far up. Now I've got the I need to put the gens on once we get flashing gen left and right off, so we will do right on and the other engines got going. Okay, we will put the pitot heats on. That'll get rid of a few more warnings. And I will put the flaps in flaps. I think we're going flap 15 takeoff, won't we? So the green band is where we want our trim. So I'm just gonna, you can hear some buzzing here. That's just the trim warning. And yeah. So once it's in the green just here, that's trim set for takeoff. Right, we've got both the generators on, both the main engines are running now, so the APU can come off. I think this APU is serviceable. You can still use it up to flight level 310, 31,000 feet. I'll put the packs on while the engines are running. So now that that's all going, the engines are going, we can put that off. We can do shut the APU down. APU generator can come off. And then we can turn it off completely. I've still not got this heading. On green, is it? It's normally because you don't have the standby power on. I need to sort that. Right, that's all done, so APU can come off. I think this has done our V speeds. But because we haven't got these, I've got it set to, let's just double check, config. I've got IRS set to fast. Let me just switch them off. I normally should go green pretty soon. So the only thing that normally stops it is the fact that the standby power, if it's not on, but it is on, so I might have auto throttle. There's a master switch here for day night, so that's the night setting. We'll keep it on day for the moment. Yeah, it's quite bright. But, now our approach chart. Let's just have a look. So the umlaut departure, I think 6,000 feet is the transition, so we'll put in 6,000 out. Still saying FD failed, isn't it? Yeah, 6,000 sets. That should have gone green by now and fast. That is strange. I've done a couple startups already and it's not done that before. Let me just put it on instant. Let me go back to that. I think it was partly because it was kind of weird when again something different happened than I've ever, when I was putting in the pos in it. Yeah, the pos in it didn't work. It sort of flashed up and then went away or something when I was trying to load it. It was kind of weird, but so I'll put those on nav. That's got that working. Okay, so yeah, these CRTs, we can go through various bits of information here. So you've just got the text above, so that's the normal mode for this screen. There's a bit of everything on it. Then we can go to fuel and hydraulics. So we've got our fuel in there. We are running the engines now, so it's not hang about too long. Then we've got our electrical. Then control services, so roll, elevator, and the rudder. And then we've got engine. Pretty good ITT and fan speeds here, so that blue marker is where we've got that set our cruise. If we want to adjust the range rings here, it's simply just this knob on the right of each screen. And now we've got, we can show the these set up. Oh yeah, the vertical profile. Just going to put that on. So that's quite nice. That will show us our vertical profile. Very good for takeoffs and your landings. So we probably want this set pretty low. 5 is the lowest. 2.5. I'm going to set this one on 5. 2.5. I think 2.5 is the smallest. Yeah. The takeoff. Oh, hello, Mr. Farquhar. Bonjour to you too, sir. How are you? Yeah, tried out this new aircraft, the wonderful new bizz jet that's come out, Flight FX. It's very good, although I have been having a few Steam and PC issues. That's partly because I put on the new NVIDIA game driver yesterday, came out, totally messed things up, so I had to roll it back. Anyway, so we've got everything all going. We've got our planning, got these all set up. We've got flaps 15 sets. So I just need to make sure that the V speeds are already in. So B1 121, BR rotate 124. It shoots past that like a rocket in this thing. Yeah, I've been good. I've been, you probably haven't seen on my channel, I know you're very busy doing your own content, but appreciate you stopping by. But I did get SnowRunner in the sale, and it was even better value because my daughter gave me a thing card for some more money off for Father's Day. So I got SnowRunner 4th anniversary. So I've been doing streams. I've got about 40 hours of streams. We're still in Michigan. Probably done like 60 hours in the game, although maybe some hours of that was paused or on the menu, but somewhere like about 50 hours, and I think I've only really done 2 out of the 4 maps on Michigan, so we've still got a long way to go. But yeah, I've been doing quite a bit of SnowRunner as well the last few weeks. Oh, lovely. Yeah, so I keep rolling vehicles left, right and centre, but I've fixed my last roll. We're back up and running, so probably going to do a bit tomorrow. My daughter's birthday tomorrow, but unfortunately, I mean, it's probably one of the only years really I'm not going to be with her for a birthday, but it's always been in the summer when she's off, even when she was at school. But I mean, now she's 22 and everything, so she's with her boyfriend, and she's got like 11 friends or something coming around her house tomorrow. So helped her today with some shopping and buying all the things that she needs. She's laying on quite a big spread for her birthday, so yeah. So I've been out and about today helping her with getting all those things set up. But yeah, 22, it's making me feel so old now. Unbelievable. Ah, they do age you, kids. They're wonderful. But I do get, you know, whenever I give advice now, I just get that, you know, the roll the eyes and the, yeah, okay, Dan, yeah, don't need to tell me. I guess we were the same when we were that age. Anyway, engines are going. We need to push back. I need to make sure I've got the nav lights on, put the recognition lights on. I'll probably put the tail light on actually as well, because it's getting dusk. Have a few lights going on. Let's put the taxi lights on. They're down here. The taxi light on. I do like this aircraft. It was very nice. Just wish my computer was a little bit better than it is, even though I've got a good GPU now. But Microsoft Flight Sim's a real funny game. Sometimes you can have a 10 grand PC and it's still like sometimes has wobbly moments. What's going on here? Microsoft Flight. Why have these screens gone off? Must have knocked that by mistake. That's not what you... Ladies and gentlemen, we now go to the captain. Why have these screens come off? What button did I press? Yes, on this flight, LG is the captain. He's not bothered to bring a co-pilot with him. And he's not really sure what he's doing. He's just flicking buttons. You know, wondering why things work and don't work. Your eldest is 21 now. Oh, and expecting in late November. Wow, okay. Yeah, you're going to beat me to that record then. So you must be feeling 2,000 years old as well. You played a bit of 2020 and 20. I still can't get on with 24. I'm having terrible problems. Luckily, I've only spent 2 or 3 quid on 24 because if you sign up for £1, you get 2 weeks on Game Pass, and so I'll play it. I've still got it installed 24. And but yeah, the load-in and pop-in for the ground and some of the career modes all messed up, and I mean it's getting better each week and month, but you know the features like multi-cockpit and wake turbulence and you know, all this amazing graphics just really hasn't happened yet. So I'm going to probably buy it when it's really improved on a lot of things. A lot more good aircraft are now coming out on 24, but getting the landings right, I mean, I'm still not, I mean, I tend to be better with auto land planes and stuff than these. I've not got the best controls. I don't have a separate sort of throttle quadrant. It's all combined with my joystick and throttle, so don't have rudder pedals and stuff yet and everything. I really should have all that stuff. Now this plane doesn't come with its own, so I'm actually gonna try and Shift P, isn't it? Bolt. Taxi back. Comes out. But once you, I mean, I've now, you know, I did spend the money. Once you get Navigraph, and you try and do the right approaches, have the right heights and speeds and stuff, it makes the landings a lot more. And I would do auto lands or right down to 100 feet before you come off autopilot. I mean, I think I've only landed this plane once. It all could go terribly wrong in Reykjavik. Oh, I've still got the ground power attached. Oh, not that. Didn't see that. I had that quite stealthily hidden as we were pushing back there. So yeah, Terminal 4 in the background. The thing is, the AI traffic is using the runways in the opposite direction that I'm using. So I might turn it off for takeoff. It's a bit of immersion braking, but I think I need to put my frame gen back on because it's been jittering around a bit still, even though the driver rolled back. But at this airport kills your frames. So we might turn it off again once we're up and flying. But I'll get like 80 to 120 frames with the frame gen on. Right, that'll do, sir. Thank you very much for that pushback. Yeah, so we're gonna go out on the planned route. I'm not gonna change it now, so okay, let's go. Got this lined up particularly well. Okay, all the throttle is armed. Nav and VNav are armed. So your dampener, I'll just put the autopilot on when we get up in the air. Okay. This thing takes off like a space rocket, so soon be at 124 is our V1, but look how quick it's coming down on the tape. There we go, so rotate, up we go, so over rotate, gear up, get some flap away, I'm going to put autopilot on and go with flight level change, just so we can switch to but yeah, do let me know if the stream goes funny again. I mean, the only thing I can do is lower bit rate, but I don't know if it's, now that I've dropped it from 12 to 11, I don't know if it's still going to show in 1440p. Yeah, I know, but I mean, you know, every sort of streamer struggles, and I'm not a professional streamer or something. I think it's some days when you want to play that game you want to play, but actually you just want to have chats to people, and maybe people that like the game or have got the game that you're streaming. And for me sometimes, and I'm quite a talker, and I don't mind sort of talking. I'm okay with it, but if I've done a couple hours and there's no one else on the stream, I get a bit funny with talking to myself for too long. And I do like to talk on the streams, because if somebody pops in and it's just a silent stream, that's not good. So I do try and chat through all my sort of streams and stuff. So that's a lovely looking departure there. Okay, 6,000 feet. I'm going to turn this brightness down a bit though. Wait for these. That sky, lovely. You're in 1440 and it's all good. Okay, that's good then. I'll leave it at that bit rate. Tuco, if you're still around, mate, really sorry about that experience. Thanks for letting me know, but yeah, no indication at my end there was a problem. So right, we're making this turn as per the flight plan, and if you look where we are here, you'll see this is the turn that we're doing all the way to Umlaut at 6,000. So we're going to stay at 6 because we're not allowed to go higher on this SID, and then we'll go for quite a nice little climb. So I've got my should have my landing lights on and my taxi lights on. I didn't do any of that since we were going up. The other lights are all on, that's fine. I am running now Microsoft 20, now with the new graphics card, so I've got most things in Ultra or high, so it does look a lot better, and with the frame gen I can actually play the game. And now let me just have a look. It still says 56, but up in the air now 76, 90, 94. So yeah, I'll sort of get somewhere between like 70 and about 120 with the frame gen on now on this, and that's with pretty much max settings. So and sometimes my CPU and my memory are throttling by 50-70 for sure, but a lot of the time my CPU, I mean it's up at 90% at the moment, Microsoft Flight Sim, a lot of the time it runs at that 50-60% my CPU, so it's doing better than I thought it would. Right, we are just about, let's put my plan on. So Umlaut is so Woburn, so now we're free of the 6,000 restrictions, so we're going to climb to let's get to 10,000. We'll do that because then we can turn off the landing lights at 10,000. So flight level change, take us up again. And with the auto throttle on, it goes into climb mode. And the trim's all automatic now, flaps are all clean. we can come off and go on to standard on the altimeter 1013, so it's set, that's good. Tuco's not said anything since he said that, so I guess he left straight away. But not much I can do about that. Just bad luck, bad timing. But I mean, I have a lot of the. I've got my. I've got my Twitch up on my computer. I tend to not run my YouTube as well because I've got my YouTube studio page up. Again, that's not warning me that there are issues. The status is excellent. And of course, the more things I run on the triple monitor setup that I've got, the more it's going to hit my CPU and what have you. So I sometimes will have my laptop on so that I can. But we're at 10,000 feet, so we can take off the landing lights. And start climbing. So we are going to go up to 40-something thousand feet. So let's put this in. Let's get this going. My sim brief had us off. That had us off with a 40. Tends to do 43,000 as the initial out for this plane. I'm going to try 48,000 feet. I tried 51 in a test, but it does depend on weather conditions and stuff. And I was sort of getting to 49, nearly 50, and it was not really climbing anymore. So we'll go with 48. See how we go with that. You need to pop off to edit. No worries, mate. I appreciate any lurks on my channel, and if you want to drop any comments on my I'll put my they're not edited videos, I'll put my streams for SnowRunner up on my YouTube page. I just edit the front of them if I've got any sort of wait time and stuff like that, so although you've seen most of everything going with SnowRunner, I imagine. So thanks for stopping by, pal. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday evening. Just can't get over these clouds at the moment. Look how wonderful that looks. Let's have a little look around in there. There's a turn going on. Beautiful. Right, so we're 300 knots because we're clear of 10,000 feet, and we are climbing at 3,000 feet a minute. 14 for 48. Play around a little bit with the lighting then. So we've got, that's like bright night lighting. Still tend to prefer that. Probably a little bit bright up here. Let's be lights. Not sure where that light. I think that's all coming from the ceiling somewhere, isn't it? Centre left. E. I'm not sure what EL stands for. Is it the button? Is it the lights behind the actual buttons? Luminous. Right. Yeah, it's the lettering, lighting. So okay. That's fine. We've got centre. sure what light that does. LH. Imagine that's the lights on this side. Okay. There's probably the centre lights down here. You turn down this a bit. I think it's a little bit bright up here. Now this Navigraph on this tablet doesn't do the doesn't do like following like it is on the app. It does the charts. I've got this kind of map, but which is good for checking what towns. We're just over Northampton, heading towards east of Coventry. 22,000. Oh, look at that. Look at that for a screenshot. Sun on the horizon. Wonder what it was like on Twitch then. I'll watch the stream back when I get a chance and have a look at that whole session. That's another thing. If you've got a bit of a quiet stream, and something like that happens, if you don't have people watching or feedback, you don't get to know as quick. But I will go check my laptop again in a second. Make sure it's looking. Twitch is showing excellent on live. No got frames. I think real pilots don't get to do this. You don't get to sort of zoom out in a drone camera view. Right, let's just have a little look around. So I've got the pitos are on, that's fine. I'm going to put the wind screen on as we're getting up altitude. Pressurization warnings, that's good. Right hand panel lights. Good. Recognition lights, nav lights, tail. I'll leave the tail light on because we're don't think we'll need much anti-ice because we'll be able to get up and above the clouds. Might have to use it on some of the descent. Right, we'll get rid of the Heathrow METAR. Have a look at Kepler Flick. On the screen briefly. So just refresh that. So at the moment we've got a couple hours to go, but it's 12 knots, 10 degrees, a bit colder. I think we're aiming for runway 19. It's still fine. 10 kilometres visibility. but still quite a bit of cloud around 2,000, 6.5. Not too bad, improving. We'll see nearer the time it can get very dodgy. Right, I'm going to put a little bit of music on. Sit back, relax, I'll get a drink. It's like we're going over a town here. So, we are... What's Derby? It's Derby that we're looking at. Come past Leicester. So that's Derby down there ahead of us, and Leicester, there's Leicester behind us. Stop there. Get this right, let the sun snapping pictures like a tourist. Okay, so we're 34.8, 34.9 for 48. So already this is kind of the height that the airliners fly at. I mean, this 787 only goes, it's 43,000 max. And even then they tend to fly 40 or 41 sort of the most, even though 43s. So yeah, if we get up into the upper 40s or 5100 as the max for this, then we fly nearly 10,000 feet higher than the commercial jets. I mean, we're at Mach 8 and we're in a climb. So yeah, the P180 I think was maximum 0.82, and the P180 turbine pretty much cruised at about 0.78. So yeah, we're higher than that, and we're in a climb. I could put well, it was on the Mach trim. Maybe it's automatic that. You can turn it off there. So we're still climbing at 2,000 feet a minute at 38,000 feet. That's impressive, that is. I'd be doing about 400 feet per minute in the P180. But yeah, you know, obviously the controls over here is what you want the plane to do, but what's written above here, MFD, is what the plane's actually doing. So we're in LNAV and VFLC and altitude select mode. So we're just passing TNT on to our next waypoint. It's Pole in 43 miles. But we're zipping along now. Right, I'm going to get a drink. I'm just going to check my tablet as well and just see if who's looking what. Right, what are we at? We're at 43 and a half. I'm still impressed with the climb rate really at this, because we're 43,000 or 44,000 almost. We're still doing 1,000 feet per minute climb. I mean, it is obviously slowing up quite a bit now with the altitude density and have a look at that, 1,300 feet a minute still, which is near bad at this outs. I don't know where the flight director on-off buttons are on this thing. Oh yeah, plus the heading bug. Press it, it centers it. Let me switch to fuel. £5,100 looks okay. Quite a high fuel rate at the moment. We're still climbing. That's gonna. And we've got 14 knots coming from the side, and we're into a headwind. 40 knots. Yeah, ground speed is 419. True airspeed 458. This is the windage here, these arrows. And then outside temperature, true airspeed, ground speed. There is a weather, I don't know, I don't think these work here, these things. Profile wind. 1,000 to go. Well, as we're doing quite well, should we try and put in 50? We could do that. I mean, it's going to cost more fuel getting up there, but once we do, feet a minute still. I think I have the weather radar. It says weather WX off, isn't it? It's this here. That switches. What's this WX off? That's probably the RCT means. Anyway, I've got WX on there. And it's off on here, it's not showing it, but I've come across it before. I just can't remember how to get back to it. Probably only about my third flight. So there we are, we're at 50. Oh well, 49, one to go. Nice. Have it in a sec. I don't want to keep putting. I mean, we're only at 192 on the speed. We're still Mach 0.8, but let's just level off now at this 50. See how it settles, because we're still burning. Well, we're up 1,000 for fuel flow now that we get into cruise. We should be back down to about 500, 520 it says at the moment. So the speed, so we're aiming for just under this 220. That'll creep back up now. You can actually see the curvature of the earth a little bit now. Damn gorgeous, if I say so myself. Right, let's I need to change these range rings really. Let's go for, usually do about 80 miles. This goes 50 or 100. So I'm gonna go 50 and I'm at 100. On here. Right, Mach 0.83. I think we'll get up to, once we get up to this 2, I think we'll be getting up to about Mach 0.9. I mean, I think this plane says it typically cruises at 0.88 to 0.9. 0.92 is its maximum. So we've still got a bit of a headwind, 35 knots. There's something else I've not clicked to get the weather on. I had it on before. I mean, we're not in weather, but it does say WX off here, even though doesn't move. That doesn't move. Radar now on WX. I think it's MFD's set up. That's putting the walls on. That's putting the airports on. That's traffic and terrain. Just take that off to traffic. One or either or both. Vertical profile on or off, and that's the wind. So that doesn't do EGLL system. That. the supporters and the lightings too. So that's our cabin pressure, not going up or down. It's kind of our maximum, which is 8,000. Skew width there, but that'll be 9, yeah, so just 8, or just a shade over it. But some views from the cabin. Wing views. And we've got people in the cabin. 4 passengers, I think it was today. We move about, we've got switches for the blinds. I think it's, oh, it's a toilet. That's on the wrong end, it's all up here. Not dressed like VIPs, are they? But, you know, it's their plane. We've got some switches up here that do, so that closes the blinds. Nice. Open. That's bright. Dim that down. This is IR. I mean, this is obviously probably where they are on the real plane, but the thing is, when you're looking at the switches, you can't see what the lights are doing. Vider. Lighting. Those are non-op. Cabin entry. Yeah, I've got it on its dimmest setting anyway. Bottles of wine. Winelandia. I don't think this has as many click things, because in the toilet the P180's actually got more drawers that come out and got a lot more stuff in it than this one. This one is interactive here. Cans of drink, snacks. Crisps, bakes, cutlery. That's all good. There's the P180 had a coffee machine. I think there's no coffee machine in this one. And in the toilet, it doesn't seem at the moment anything's interactive in there, so everybody wants to be able to flush their toilets. Right, what's the Mach number now? 0.89, it's nearly Mach 0.9. I think really, I mean it's partly been held up a little bit by the wind. But basically 0.9, I don't know, 50,000 feet. Curvature of the Earth, slightly seen. I don't know how high you can go in this game. I think I saw somebody in a video that was, I don't know how they got up there. I think you can load the game in or something, but he was up at like 130,000 feet or something. I think you can go higher in Microsoft Flight Sim 24, like almost into space or something. I'm not sure if there's a maximum height in 2020 that you can. Like if we had an SR-71 or something like that. Right, let's have a look at destination, all that stuff. So Baku's 362 nautical miles. Let me have a look. I think it's still runway 19. We're over Scotland, and next is TLA. So we're about to fly between Edinburgh and Glasgow. We're actually sort of going to go right through the middle, probably at this altitude. Well, Edinburgh will be over here, and sorry, Glasgow over here on the left, and Edinburgh on the right. Let me bring this up again. But yeah, Glasgow's up there, Edinburgh's there, and our flight past it takes us right in between the two. Ground speed goes up to 488. We're probably going to be fighting the wind a little bit all the way, because the jet stream's coming from the opposite direction. But yeah, so we haven't got. So we're coming into Azrun, and we are going to be doing, I think, the ILS Zulu. ILS Z Zulu. And Elvam being the transition. So ILS Zulu, Elvam. Right, so yeah, after our PLA, then we have this massive, well, a couple of big legs. We've got a big leg now to Baku, 346, and 29 to Ratsu. Then Aldan, and then we're Azron, so I need to take out this discontinuity. Okay, and then after Azron we are doing KF156, and then it's Ravala, Ravlet, and then 158, 159, 155, and then it should be KF19. Nomta should be next. Yeah, there's Nomta, and then into the runway. Okay, so that is all good. Just hope I've got enough fuel. I put on an extra 30 minutes, and we've got an alternative airport fuel as well, so we should have enough. But sometimes with new planes, I've found that I don't know, it just seems to burn through more fuel than SimBrief gives us. But yeah, it's very nice plane, this. Very nice plane, not much wrong with it at all. If anything. And I quite like the Pro line. It's quite a nice system. I liked it in the P180. This is, I think they're meant to be the Pro line 2000, and their Flight Epics have customised this. I mean, my only gripe with the MCD is you're only getting the C3. It's only not many lines, but this is obviously realistic to kind of what I had with the sort of late 90s sort of tech that's in this jet. That it's not more lines of it, you know, that's not a thin thing or a flat effects thing, it's just. And if the aircrafts are good, you know, a lot of my shopping for aircraft, because I quite like to get the B2 from Top Rack. That's always looked good. I never got it, and I don't want to get it in the sale. I've had, you know, I mean, it's not a lot of money, but I don't have a lot. I think it's about 30. It's about the same price as this. But I wanted to try and get it for less than 20 in a summer sale. And I think last time I saw it on sale, I only had about £2 off, so it was like 30 down to 28 or something. But yeah, that'd be quite nice to do some flights in that. I should get that. I want to try and get the add-on and try and do some air refueling. You can do all that stuff as well. Make a right big pigs here of that, wouldn't I? LG refueling. I don't know where all my Twitch people have gone as well, really. It's like, I kind of want my YouTube to take priority a little bit in viewership, because I've got more videos and content on there, but live streaming, but don't really get, just always get 3 or 4, you know, like new people popping along for a stream or something. But I was doing alright at Christmas or something, but ever since it's sort of really March time or whatever, my Twitch kind of slowed up. Kind of weird, because when you're in the crew, you don't get all the sun glare and stuff, so you get that sort of image when you're in the cockpit. When you're outside, I've got, you can turn these off, but I've got all the sun glare. It looks a lot more realistic like this outside. But yeah, running with FrameGen and stuff, obviously, but as I say, most of my settings are pretty much, you know, ultra, high, shadows, ultra, windshield effects, high, ambient occlusions, high, cube map. Some of these have ultras on them, but motion blur off, cockpit refresh rate on high. I've got buildings on high. But yeah, I mean my new graphics card really, this helps allow me to enjoy games and simmings again. But I do plan to try and get a new case motherboard. I'm in half of mine though, because I kind of, you know, for future proofing and because I stream and I edit and stuff like that, I kind of quite like to get a 9950 X3D, which is sort of the most expensive commercial non-Threadripper AMD chip, but it's already come down about £50 since launch, 30–40 pound cheaper than it was, but it's still over 600 quid for just that chip. But you know, if I got a £300–400 chip, I'd be fine with it for this year. But I think, you know, those kind of things I don't change that often, and if you kind of get the best at the time, a couple of years on, you're kind of glad that you've still got a lot of power. But AMD are going to be doing the Zen 6 stuff. It could be early 27, it could be late 26, but if I don't get stuff done this year and I go into 26, you kind of think, well, should I wait for whatever is the next Zen 6 chip? Nice lotto win, and changing your computer to the latest every year would also be nice, you know. Chasing the sun. We are over Mach 0.9 now, so Mach 906 settled on. Again, still got a bit of a headwind. It's not as bad up here as it was earlier. It's a nice, let me just get out, let me take a nice sort of shot back here. It's a lovely cockpit though, isn't it, really? The layout, the colours, lighting. You know, the flight effects have done a really good job with this, and also, you know, this Pro line, and I mean, you get many avionics suites and I think in real life I'd quite like the 5000 sort of things, but in the sim, the Garmin 3000, 5000s just don't seem as good as, you know, CRTs and Prolines and having a few gauges and things like that. Probably should do dinner. No, I think it's kind of weird on this because I think in the P180 when you do the lunches and stuff, so I'm gonna go with pizza. I don't think it puts the tables out. Let's have a look. So, but when you put the tables out, the food's arrived. But I'm pretty sure in the P180, it's not got any food on it. I had a feeling in the P180 though, it sort of folded everything out for you, sort of. That's weird. Well, there it is. Let's see. Kind of weird then, because you might, if you didn't, you might think, well, where's my... Sorry people, you've only... Come on, Flight FX, you know, pizzas for everybody on every table. I mean, the pilots want some as well. We got one meat that it looks like it's friggin' vegetables and tomato. It just looks like a margarita. It's not even pepperoni. So we got one margarita for 5 people essentially, because the pilot wants some as well. There's nothing here. Blinds work manually as well, doesn't look like they do. A bit of artifacting up here. That's probably my frame gen though. I turned that off. These right, so I would like a bit, because like these drawers don't open, so and it's not a priority, but if they can run the water, well, that's... None of these work either, and you can't flush the toilet. So, you know, hey, can't have everything. So, yeah, a few niggles in the cabin. It's a lot better than a lot of planes with them. I want food on all the tables. Doesn't the P180s or something, the seats slide out? So I don't know if these have any... Look like you can move the seats. Maybe they don't in real life, but we could have some rotating sliding seats. They're saying, well, where's my pizza? I think you can turn these AI people on and off. I think reading in the manual, it's if you've got weights. If you don't put any weights for the passengers or something, we'll get rid of them. Actually, let's take a... Let's take a... So I always quite like, you know, when you see brochures or something, I always quite like these sort of shots that sort of just from the cabin. It might be too far back. Like this. Just wait for that thing at the top to disappear. I'll take a screenshot here. some of these pictures on my Discord. Close it up. Oops. See anything with a mouse? You're going to move your camera or something, and you start clicking things, scrolling on things. Like, why did we all die in our plane? Well, he was messing around with a mouse up at 50,000 feet. The Mach 909. Mark 222. We are absolutely flying there. True airspeed 522, ground speed over 500 now. So yeah, this speed on the left I think is going to increase as we're going into the jet stream, and the headwind will increase probably as well, because we're actually going to be turning a bit of a left. So Baku is it's out at sea. We still haven't left land yet. We're just leaving, if we'll see it, we're just sort of leaving the coast of Scotland. There's a few islands to see. We're still over land, so this is sort of Shetlands, and so we're just sort of leaving the last of the land. There's islands up here. And then yeah, we're heading on this course of 331. Mach 91 now. We're actually speeding up. Feel. Out over the sea, over the Atlantic. But yeah, it's a nice cabin. There's a few things I would quite like to. I don't know, are there sun blinds in this? There's these things. Okay, so we've got something then. I wouldn't say they're very. Bit of my normal camera view, the pilot. Let's see how this. Doesn't really do very much if it's in your face here. Seem a bit small. You slide it along, you can sort of pick it up. It does it automatically when it gets there. So yeah, so you'll see it, we're just leaving Scotland. These are the, is it Outer Hebrides these are? Get a bit iffy with my Scottish islands. Anyway, we're on this track. Leaving good old Blighty behind. Can I put different ages on my camp? 1 to 5. That's good, so I can actually have more legs up. Let me just look at the approach chart. It's as run. What height we need to be at as run, but AF 156 we want to be 15,000. It's got that in. Right, quick bio break. I'll be right back. That's back. So yeah, after Baku and Ratsu, we sort of head in a bit of a northwesterly direction. Ratsu is kind of Baku and Ratsu, sort of west of the Barrow Islands. We might be able to see them, well, probably because of the time of day we might not. Leaving the Shetland Islands behind. You'll see the coast just peeking through the cloud there. If you see it on the stream behind the wings. Up out over the sea now. Yeah, so the Faroe Islands are sort of over here to the right, Ratsu, so well, they'll have some lights on. If we've got some clear cloud, we might see it. Well, we should see it from this height. You know, it might be 50, 60, 70 miles away from our track, but lights on and no cloud, we should see something, so we'll have a look out for that. But if not, then we head northwest and we'll start. Got a 274 mile leg from Ratsu to Ordan, and then that will give us our route to Iceland. So we're Mach 91. .524 on the TAS, 504 on the ground speed, and the winds are picking up a bit again. Well, when there's nobody to talk to in the cruise, we have a look to see if Man United have signed any more players. Somebody's put a picture of somebody being arrested, looks like by feds or something. But breaking news: Man United representative escorted from St James's Park after submitting an offer of 25 million plus Rasmus Højlund at Isak. That's funny. Hogan has died. Never really watched much of his stuff and everything, but he was such a big character, wasn't he? 71. Although my dad's 12, my dad is now. I think he's about 84. True. Arne Slot won the Premier League after spending zero money. Imagine what he's going to win now. They're spending over 400 million. Starlink is currently having outages. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are using Starlink, but you know, if he gets pissy and just says I'm turning it off to a country, I mean, what are you going to do about it? And then if, you know, they're not things you could fix. I think there's quite a bit of redundancy on that. You know, you'd have to lose quite a few satellites to lose all the, but you know, with these solar flares that are going on and stuff now, I do sort of wonder a little bit whether Starlink is you know, how reliable it is. Of course, we've got F1 this weekend, so Spa, looking forward to that. Got 90 miles to run. So I don't know if we need to be... So 156 we want at 15,000 feet. Just trying to add up the mileage. It's 87 plus 30, 110, and 274, so 384, and then another 60. So round it all down, probably before you want to start descending, because with 50,000 feet, I know this thing can drop pretty quick from some other videos I've seen, but still, I mean, that's like a 35,000 feet drop. Because like normally, like in a lot of the airline, when you're up at 30,000 feet or something, you sort of descend 70, 80 miles out from your sort of your star or whatever. So if I'm going to drop 35,000 feet, and I was dropping at, it's probably be 3,000 feet a minute or something. Somewhere between all down at Azeron. I mean, I could put in some, you know, I could put in like 20,000 feet at Azeron. Can we drop 5,000 feet in 14 miles? Can, but it's a bit steep. Because I could put in something like 180. Oh, that's speed. Do I just do the slash? Get it. Yeah, so that'll do a 3 degree. probably all down wants to be, I mean that's 60 miles, so you know you could put in something like 30,000 feet or something all down. I don't know, if we were dropping 50, so still 32,000 feet to lose. And I just don't want to come in like a bullet. But I don't want to descend too early, and well, I've got a bit of time. We don't need to do it just yet. Still got some light up here at this height. It's insane. I'm thinking something like 38,000 feet all down might be a good, because then it's 38 to 18 in 60 miles, which is not too bad. And then Ratsu to all down is quite a big one, it's 274. So yeah, if we did 50 down to 38 over that stretch, that will give us a new top of descent. $38, you know, for the line, so I think I might do that. I'll just play around with this a bit. Need to put in all the zeros, I don't think. Oh god. Maybe I do. Normally you don't. Why is that in yellow though? Right, coming up to Bark and Russell, let's have a look so we can see the Faroe Islands. I hang with this cloud. It'll be over here somewhere. So this thing does Iceland in just over 2 hours in actual flight time. Up at this height. Mach 9. Not Mach 9. Mach 0.9. I mean, Mach 0.92, I mean, it's fast. I mean, you're not far off supersonic when you're 9.2. Let's have a look at our RAs. I think I'm going to do 250 on the radio altimeter. I think airliners tend to do about 400 feet, don't they, for Barrow. Just have a look at the chart. We'll capture the ILS KF 19 2,200. The airport is its altitude is pretty low because just let's see. Airport elevation is 170, runway is 161. Interesting, not a 9 feet difference between the runway and the airport. So, the Cat 2 ILS, runway 19. RA is 128. But the DA is 261. Not sure if this would be a Cat 2 aircraft or not. We should be able to thought there, but you've got no auto lands and all that stuff on there, so this Cat D without auto land is R 350 meters. That's seeing the runway, isn't it? That's not the altitude. I'll keep it at 250. We could set it to 128, but we're that seems a bit low, really. Yeah, it's really clouded up here, so I don't think we're going to see any lights. Quite bad for the Faroe Islands. Let's see if it shows on this. Yeah, that's the Faroe Islands there, so almost off our wing. Seeing anything now. Anyway, we are on track. So yeah, we'll come over here. Got 10 coming up. About to do it now. Yep. Right, so this is that 274 leg nautical miles to Aldan. I keep wanting to say Alderan. No, that got blown up in Star Wars Alderan, didn't it? Do 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 do. I mean, whoever came up with that tune is just amazing. Da 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 da. It's just, oh dear. Geniuses, geniuses they were. So yes, 267 now to Aldan, not Alderan, but Aldan. So, and I've now put in to be at flight 380, so we should get a top of descent. We're not going to see it for a while because I've put that in, I'm not quite sure why it's in yellow rather than blue. I haven't checked fuel for a while. 3920. So 3-4 at Aldan. Looks like we're on track for that. Oh, it looks like we're going to have 3 at BIKF, at destination, because we've got an extra 30 minutes of fuel. Pleased at that, because that then seems to show that the fuel burn rate on this I always find with my RJ and with my 777s the fuel rate burn can be a little bit high. Yeah, so we have got a top of descent. Our top of descent is in 258. But that can't be right. I'm not sure if this has gone in because it's not blue, but there's not. I've put 3.8 at Aldan, and Aldan is 248, so 247, 31 minutes. Yeah. I mean, that might have been my original top of descent, but it's put top of descent 248, which is actually past Aldan, and I want to be at 38,000, but I don't know, we might have to dive it down because it doesn't look like it's going to do top of descent until Aldan's 241 and it's saying top of descent 246. I think that's a top of descent to get down to 18,000 I've put in. There's our wind speed again, which we've got up there. We've got a 35 knot wind now hitting us from the side. Our ground speed, it's still fast, but it's slowed up a bit. Yeah, because if I click that, it just That's the same thing in. Yeah, I know enough about this MCDU on this plane. Because when I put the 18,000 in it, because that's, I would have just said, oh, it's because I put it in rather than the flight plan, but the flight plan only had 15,000 feet. I put in the 18,000, and it took it, and let's put it in blue. The top of because if it's taken it, the top of descent would be way before all done to drop from 50 to 38. Than what it showed me on this thing. I think about 5 miles past all done. Center up the heading. As I would have said, about 50-60 miles before all down, we need to start descending to 38. I can set that, initiate that myself. I haven't tried hold and stuff. You have got holds on this. And the tune, you can do it on the MCDU if you don't want to do it down here. Yeah. And we're just slightly off a few degrees because of the windage pushing us from the side. 35 now. Interesting dials and things got up because this is like an old form of like the ILS and stuff. So I'm not sure which way you point it. I don't know which end is the point. I think it's this one down here. So you would put this to the runway. So if I look at my runway heading, that we're landing on runway 19. The actual heading is 192, so you would put this at like the Learjet and stuff. You'd put this at 192. And it doesn't give you a specific readout, so you put the course. Two ends but you can't. So that's 180, that's 190. So you put it like that, and then when you're lined up, obviously if you've got ADFs and stuff, so you can put those in. And then you've actually got an IAS and NOTS readout here. 210 is there, and we're 209, so that looks accurate. Well, that has rolled the engines back. Okay. Back. Weird, I didn't think I had that switched on. AT release, that throttle input is off, and it was still right, so all down 183 to go. We're going to lose a lot of this light once we drop down, of course. I'm not sure how well I'm going to do with this landing because, say, my controllers and stuff are a little bit on the iffy side. It doesn't have auto lands, and I've manually got to do the spoilers and the reversers. I mean, it's quite a big runway, so the reversers probably, if I get the right kind of approach speed. Let me have a look. Performance landing. So let me just have a look at Metar again. So it's got the airport elevation at 143, which is pretty different from my chart. My chart has got it at position altitude 7,000. Elevation 170 it says on the chart. Don't worry. At the moment it's 200 at 10 knots at 11 degrees C. The wind 200 at 10. Be a dry runway. Flaps 35, anti-ice off. Give me my approach speeds and stuff now. Put that in. Wonderful. So I might do a descent down a 38 with about 50 miles or something to go to Aldan. So this top of descent is not for Aldan. It's it's like I'm up at bit. You do have to pinch yourself a few times. It's like I'm descending to 38,000 feet. Most planes will be like, oh, that's as high as I can. 38. I mean, a lot of the airliners that I'll fly, like the 777s and stuff, because of their height. I mean, with all the fuel and the passengers, mostly they'll go quite low, like 31 or 32, and sometimes you'll notice halfway along the cruise they'll then go up to 36 or 38 once they've burnt off some fuel. And we're descending down to 38, and you sort of think, God, that's 12,000 feet below us where we are at the moment. So yeah, that's why it's in yellow, I think, because it's sort of not making it, but weird. FL 380 flash. So I didn't put the FL in last time, I just put this thing in, but I think it just adds it anyway. But at 121 nautical miles, ETA is 15 minutes. God, that's fast, isn't it? I'm going to put this down to 50 miles. So when Aldan sort of gets to this arch, I think I'll then command my descent 38. I'm certainly not used to planes at this altitude, and I'd rather step climb down a bit than realise we've got to drop 40,000 feet or something in 20-30 miles. And also we're going so fast as well. Probably about 6 minutes or so. Need to keep an eye on the weather. It's 200 at 10. Is still the wind destination, but so it says we're going to be at the airport in 28 minutes. I mean, that will probably go up a bit as we slow down and do our descent. I mean, the descent's quick, but yeah, not far off 30 minutes. And that's crazy because we're still 228 miles in total. Quite like this progress page because it's quite good. Some of the other planes, it's a little bit hard to see the distance and time to your actual destination. You'd see it to waypoints. Music stops. Oh, that's weird. Because it does have a top of descent here now before order. But when I look at this, yellow. That says 34 miles. It's weird. It's sort of updated that now. It wasn't doing it before. Right, so I don't know if this automatically does the descending. I mean, obviously pressing, but let me set the out 38. We get path in white. If I've got VNav on and everything, it should maybe start doing the descent automatically. I'm not sure in this plane. We'll wait and see it does, it does. If not, I'll just hit FLC. And I'm going to come in on the range ring a little bit here, so 25 miles out, which is exactly what this is saying. All looks good then. So if I'm down on the ground at half an hour, probably at 11:30 my time when we land. Let's have to go around. Yeah, my reversers, but I don't have proper throttle quadrants and stuff, so I've got a button to activate the reversers, but it doesn't like activate them. What it means is when I do my if I press a button and then pull back my throttle lever, it will move the reverser. So it's a sort of button and then a pull, and I've got another button set to do the spoilers because they're not. I don't know, because like all the modern systems, I don't know why the spoilers, even in real life, couldn't be set to be armed and automatic like the. I obviously don't know enough about the real planes, but certainly I think in real life and in the sim, it seems you do them manually. Right, top of descent's coming up. I'm going to come in on the range ring again, just so. I'll give it about 5 seconds, so we're going to bust through it if it doesn't do it. I've got it set 38. It's on path, so there's the little magenta. So that's our path, and the VNav's showing that nicely. I know, I mean, obviously if you missed it, well, you just do flight level change. But let's see, does this. I might put this thing on actually to show me my countdown for the 3 miles, 2.8. That's the path coming down now as we're approaching it. Yeah, out selects, and the engines are rolling back. Look at that! It's just like the Boeings. Yeah, almost gone to idle. Nice, and we are dropping like a rock, 3,000 feet a minute. Very, very nice. Well done, Flight Fix. Just like I'm pretty sure the Airbus is what you still have to command it. But like Boeing's Prolines and stuff, got it all. So it's easing off 2,800. It started doing us 3,000, but it's going to try and keep us on that path, so is it minus 2,800, 25, it's because we've got well 27 miles now to get to 38, so it's got the path drawn in. Let me just come out now on my range to 25, put this one to 50. So what I need to do now, I mean, I can set it at these other temperatures. I'm going to probably set it to, say, 10,000 feet or something afterwards, and then it'll just. I mean, you could set it to. You could set it to the 2,200 for the ILS. Which I will do. I might do 10 and then a 2.2. I often like going to 10 or something because then it will remind me to turn on the landing lights. So 2400, 44 for 38. Got it on the profile. That's all good. I'm impressed with that. I don't know why it was sort of not showing it. It was showing it passed all down for a while. Still in yellow, so it didn't sort of change anything, but anyway. When it came to it, it's done it right. We're adding a bit of power now as we're approaching 38. But that's nice, so you know, if you've got all this plugged in properly and you set those, you're gonna, because that's one thing when you're not using the proper charts and you don't have proper electronics, it's quite hard to control your vertical path. But with this having the auto throttle and the VNAV and it all working, just look like a beauty, like a dream. It's working like a dream. My landing probably won't, but we've actually got no headwind now, almost a tailwind going to be soon, 33 from the side. And of course it will manage the speed at the right altitude, so once we get to 10 or whatever it will max us at. So I'm going to actually put this down now to 10,000. So it should pick up the, but it won't go, you know, it's not going to go to 10,000. It's going to pick up all this 15, 11 because it's clever like that. And then probably after 10 I'll put in the ILS. Actually, it was 2,200, wasn't it? Yeah, so the purple numbers are going to be what it's doing. It's 18,000 at ASRun, but we're still on the vertical path, so it's it now knows we're at out of 38, so we're going down another 20,000 feet. In sort of 56 miles, which should be okay. It's still quite a decent 2,700 feet per minute coming down. I do like the RJ. I'm trying to think what my best jet in the. I'm really liking this though. It's really working well, and I think I just like it as well because the speed it can go and the height it can go. You can really get around some places in this jet without having to. And like if you're doing like, I don't know, say London to Edinburgh or something, it's going to do it so much quicker. I do like the RJ cockpit now. I've learned to fly that, but I've still been having some issues landing the RJ because it does this thing where with the spoilers it doesn't have reverse thrusters, but like the spoilers aren't activated unless your throttle's all the way. So if you've got a little bit of throttle left in when you land, the spoilers don't. And it does this sort of bounce and take off again. I mean, it seems to be modelled as the real plane is, but in the sim it's so easy to sort of do this bounce and take off again in the RJ, and I've not really quite mastered it. Some have been fine and others have been all over the shop, so I mean, I would just like it to apply the spoilers as soon as it detects the wheels hitting the runway, rather than this throttle being back or not. But that might not be how they had it in the real plane. But But yeah, and the 777 I've got is now. I don't have the 737s. I was going to get them, but I never got round to it. But now I'm going to wait until they update them for 24. But they'll update them for 20 because they've got to do the tab. They've got quite a lot of upgrades apparently to do. And you know, if they put out new versions which are fully updated, because they're their sort of oldest PMDG planes now for 2020 to do for 24, but they've said when they do 24 they'll also update them to sort of where they've got the 777s. So if that's the case, I might as well wait until the 737s get this update. It won't be this year, I think. Could be the back end of this year, but I think because they're doing the 747s as well, so I don't know. Have to see, but then, you know. But I don't know if... I think their 737 MAX has been put on hold by PMDG now. But then iFly I'd quite like to get, but yeah, my channel's so small I don't really make any money out of that. I mean, I was trying to tot up how much I still needed to spend if I wanted to get, you know, rudder pedal. I mean, obviously having the metal ones, they're 400 quid. Toby eye trackers, couple hundred quid. Got a couple hundred quid for panels, and a couple hundred quid for throttle quadrants, the Boeing yokes. Yeah. Just money I don't have, so we're doing quite nicely here. 2500. So we're still on this profile. I love this VNAV. It's very good. 26, 18. And I haven't got to worry. It's gonna get us to Iceland at a VNAV park. It's actually sticking to it very well, because I kind of, with the P180, which is a brilliant plane as well, done by the same people as this, effects. But I always found, and I don't think it's had any patches. I haven't flown it myself for a little while now, but I have to give it a go. But whenever I did these VNAVs, it would like, oh yeah, you got to drop 20,000 feet in 18 miles or something, and it just kept coming up with VNAV paths that were not doable really, and it was like, but this seems to be much more accurate on the VNAV than the P180 is. Whether that's a plane quirk or whether it's the sim and it needs an update. So KF156 is 15,000 feet, just after. That's why I put the 18,000 in, to try and make it not quite so much of a nosedive. Some land below us. Oh, it's an island. An airport down there. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna auto this all in until about probably less than 1,000 feet, maybe even 500 feet. Try and get myself nice and stable, and then it's got to come off autopilot. Don't know if I've got to hit the auto throttle off at the same time it comes off automatically, because it's in a different place, and quite often autopilot won't kill the auto throttle. And then I've got to hit a button for the spoilers as soon as I sort of touch down to try and keep me down. The plane's actually very nice to hand fly. I mean, this is up there in the top 10 planes in the sim, I think, already. And for 28 quid, I mean, it's half the price of... It doesn't have some of the system that you haven't got failures and dirt on the outside of planes, you know, these fuses things. But for me and for most people that fly, you know, I think it's only real pilots and stuff that really like the failures and stuff. I mean, it is nice to go, hey, I bought this and it has it. You can do it if you wanted to. But most people won't do failures unless they're real pilots. So it's always better that you have it than you don't have it. But when you don't have it and the rest of it's very good, like this is. So our throttles are coming up now. So now we've got 15. So it's going to stay on that path. So like I said, I'm going to then put in, as we're getting closer now to this 15, so then we go 11, 7, 4.5. Let's have a look. Yes, because then it's 10,000, 7,000, 4,500, 3,000, and then we do almost a 90-degree turn down towards the runway, and we need to be 2-2 to pick up the ILS, so I'm going to put in 2-2 and I'm going to let the VNAV do all the work. So yeah, you'll see path now in white. The magenta is following the star and the approach plates. So this is going to go from 18, and you see the magenta's coming in. Now it's descending, and it's going to aim for 15,000. And when we get past this point, that's going to change now to 11, which is our next. After we get to 15, it will do 11. And it's going to keep descending on this because I've got my altitude set lower. 2-2, we've got VNAV. But I'm impressed at how well this is doing. It's hitting all the right, it's not doing what the P180 did, and it was constantly just never making the vertical nav, and I kept having to manually do VS because it was so bad at following the vertical nav. I mean, it was fine at LNAV in the P180, and actually okay in the climb on the VNAV, but the descent on the P180 always had problems with it. Every flight was just kind of, I know, just had the top of descents always in the wrong place, so it would always be late. I'll fly it again. I'll do a flight in it sometime next few days, so we'll try it out, see if it's changed. But if it's not, and you're having problems, then you just have to do a manual top of descent quicker than what it has the VNAV path on, just to make sure you hit. But it shouldn't be like that. It should be like this one, where it's just tracking it bang on. So we're getting close now. I'm going to get to 12.5 miles. And then it's just going to hit all these heights. It's 10, 7, 4.5, 3. Once we get turned around and we're at 3, leaving 3 for 2-2, then we'll hit approach. do the landing lights at 10,000 feet. We've got the coast of... So it's sort of over here. Yeah, of course we come out and then sort of do quite a steep turn for the approach. I might just put the landing lights on now so I don't forget. Keep the same recognition lights on. Now I think this is reducing the cabin altitude. This is sort of automatic. Don't know if you're meant to put this at 0 or something. Not beeping at us if it's the wrong thing. So fuel's fine. I'm going to go back to norm. 7,000, still on the purple. Following it on down. Yeah, we do this big turn and then we're in. Take these in again. 5 miles now. Don't know how much we're going to see of stuff because we've got quantum met up. And it just depends where you hit the cloud. But we've got some at 8,000, so we're getting below that now. And then we've got sort of mix between 2 and 4. And our transition altitude was 7,000, so and it should be 998, but I'll hit the I'm going to get rid of this. Shame the stream's not been a bit busier tonight, but I really want to get some more hours in this plane. Right, 7473, so we can probably hit go to right barrow. That's going to adjust the height. There we go. So we're a bit below the height now, so it's going to power up the engines. 300 feet low. We've gone to 999, which is fine. 998 at the airport. You can actually maybe just adjust that manually. 998, so we aren't going to hit B again. Is that reset it? Yeah. I mean, it's right, probably 999 where we are. There's the airport, the runway's there. I think I better put slats out. A little bit fast for that. I mean, we're really going quite fast here. We're going to go 220 at Elvam. But I think I'm going to put 230/4500. Just get that speed to come down a bit earlier. Right, that is slats 5. Oh, that's it. So I'm going to put that does the slats. See the slats at the front, so it's got lovely front slats like the Airbuses in here as well. This one actually got a bit of light here. Quite pleased with it, really. Up in total darkness. Okay, and I'm actually going to go flaps 5 because we're almost at flaps 15 speed. I can go, I quite like to try manual speed. It's I don't have time to get all this done though. I'm going to go flaps 15. Just one more flat level to go, and we'll probably go gear out here because we're close. I wonder what speed, because it's sort of got 200 being the speed, but might be good gear. I haven't got much time between this turn. It's nice though, isn't it? This plane is so nice to fly, and you know, this is only a couple test flights, so imagine getting tens of hours in this thing. So VREP is 125, so we're geared down. As soon as I make this turn, I'll probably go full flaps. Got the landing lights on. It's a bit murky. We're actually going to have, luckily, better visibility than I thought we might have. So I love the fact it has it as well here. It helps, like flat 35 is 180, so we've got to check plates and things just right on your MFD, showing you what your flats setting the speed. Let's see how well it does this. I now need to hit approach. So we can actually capture the guy, so if I miss it, I don't have my chart with me. Nonta is where it catches it, so that's good. I've got it on before. It's really important that you hit approach before you get to there, because otherwise okay, I'm going to go flaps 35. That's going to put the speed down. It's got it set to 130, which is the approach speed. So is it actually going to? They're not in here, but it's doing the H, and then the ref speed is, what was it, 125, sort of over the threshold. So this is looking very nice. Very nice. I'll probably still balls up the manual bit. If I had proper throttle quadrants and rudder pedals and all that stuff, it does make the workload a lot easier, more natural. This has been, so far, one of the most nicest approaches I've done. And now it's hitting the 125. So lovely. Just going to hit B again, just making sure we're now at 998. So the lock and glide slope is captured, it's bringing us down. Nobody really watching. I do want to start using the recordings, but I don't know, the 1 in 20 is a bit iffy. Although I have made some improvements to the recording. The thrust reversers, I'll try and hit the, once I hit the autopilot off and we actually touch down, I will try and attempt to do the spoilers. I then want to sort of have a look at that it's doing it from outside, so if I do then start running off the runway, it's because I'm so autopilot off. I'll take the auto throttle off. Back. It's drifting me a little bit off centre there, but okay. Spoilers are activated. That's good. Right, let me try the reversers. Still move it. I'll have to move it forward for the reversers. Okay. Well, that's nice because we're going to make the turn off. Put the reversers away. Spoilers can come away as well. I think I should have held there. Let's just what a nice time to land as well. I managed to just catch the sunset. Okay, flaps can go away. And we should put the taxi lights on and the landing lights on. I think probably the sensitive. Let me just do these because just before I did this, oh, that's wrong. It changed my sensitivities. And I think for normal controllers that would be fine. But my rudder on this thing's just a rocket, and I need these, otherwise it starts seesawing a little bit over the, still does it a bit, but I'll have a look, play around with those. So now we're clean, we've got all the spoilers and flaps stowed. taxi lights on, and we just roll up to the gate. Well, I didn't crash it. I didn't bin it on takeoff. There was something weird going on with the stream, frames per second at the beginning, which if anybody came along and looked at, totally ruined things, I imagine. But yeah, otherwise, for me, that was a pretty damn good vertical nav approach. And the landing wasn't bad, but maybe it's the wind or something, and having the right kind of rudder pedals. But we certainly drifted well off this centre line. But, trying to improve on that. Left it quite late to come off the. And that's one of the things when you're trying to do that manual flying in the landing. If you've got the better pedals and controllers, especially like even a yoke rather than a joystick for some of these aircraft, and with a bit of practice, you'll get those manual landings a lot easier. It's quite hard with like a rocker rudder and some of these joysticks to get that sort of finessing the manual landings. And actually really, if you take it off at 1500 feet or 1000 feet, you have a bit more time to just get yourself set up manually, right? So I don't know if this plane, I think a lot of them are, there's that software that you can just practice landings on and stuff, so this gets added to that, and you can just do landings over and over again. So you can go left here and then go right. Let's do that, because I normally go to the end and left, but that's normally how planes get sent out. Is up there and down here. Oh, truck waiting for me. And the ground handling of this plane and the hand flying is very good, and I've got those controllers actually just driving straight for me. I think even in 24, I mean in 24 I think it's worse than 20 with like buses and things there. They've never really managed to, you know, they have no sort of semblance of staying out of the way of planes. And hello, somebody pressed the button. Hey Ramila, you missed it. Thank you for finding me then. Just landed at Reykjavik. Just passing on through a bus there. Just saying how Microsoft never really managed to get ground operations working and reacting to the traffic. Now actually, we just, because probably should do this parked up, but we'll put the anti-collisions on. Certainly look nice on this plane. It turned them off automatically once it got up in the air, I think. I don't remember turning them off. But yeah, that's probably been one of my best flights, best approaches, vertical navs down anywhere. This plane is so good.